Hello and welcome back to Gotham Sounds coverage, GSTV, NAB, AES 2024 NYC. I'm doing these all out of order. Anyway, I'm here with Tod from Netgear.
Yes,
And at Netgear, you speak Dante. So tell us something
we
in
do.
Dante.
We speak Dante, we speak AES, we speak a lot of things, but what we really focus on is being able to assign different profiles per VLAN. Now that's Dante, it's maybe it's just audio, maybe it's video. Again, mixing in, say, AES or AVB, all those things are very easily managed through our Engage software.
So, our customers, we mostly do sound for film and television, so a lot of it's portable.
Sure.
So, a lot of our customers would look at a switch like this. So when you say VLAN, that means each port you can assign.
Each port, correct. So here in the Engage software, I can configure it. So now we're looking at it on a per port basis. So here you can go in and assign the network profile. I can select, say, a port here, port 6, edit. Any port, say it's 6 and 7. And let's see, apply. And now you're assigning those ports for that specific workflow. Now, again, everything is configured a little differently. In video land, there's different compression rates. So the ability of setting up with a higher bandwidth port, a switch for 2110 maybe looks a little differently than, say, NDI compression at NDI HX3 or SRT or Zixi, and all these different compressions. It's a little bit slightly different setup that you need to do to optimize. We want to make sure with the correct bandwidth switch, always reach out to Pro AV Design at Netgear to make sure you have the right switch. But configuring it is super easy within the Engage software.
Yeah.
And again, it's per port. You can save the profiles. You can load them as you're traveling to different venues or events.
So, I think the thing that is exciting about this, because when we started Dante, it was more like we were working with switches that were for networking, period, right? So it would be for business infrastructure, and we would have to drill down into the settings and optimize it ourselves. But now it's been made so easy to just be like, this is Dante. This is AES 67. So if you're, whatever you're connecting.
And even though we love AV managers to work seamlessly with IT managers, it's a little different language, to say the least. We take out the guesswork. We use AV language within the Engage software. We make sure that it's easy to configure with that. We also worry about those things that the IT managers worry about. We don't want to flood their network. They always say, well, what are you putting on our network? So we want to make sure that we're not only configuring, but we're still multicasting and broadcasting without flooding their side of the network infrastructure.
So you could potentially, go into a place that has a network infrastructure access and plug in one switch that will do, Dante and all the other things.
Absolutely. Now we recommend separating the networks or at least controlling that one port connected to their IT network in a way that it doesn't flood their network, but also being able to manage and use those benefits of the greater WAN and the IT network.
And so the Netgear switches, obviously, they come in different sizes and shapes and number of ports.
We have 1 gig, 2.5 gig, all the way up to 10 gig. What you see here is a 40-port 10 gig switch with 400 gig uplinks. So non-blocking, very efficient workflow. So number of ports, bandwidth, but also PoE. So we do PoE, PoE plus, PoE plus plus, up to 90 watts. We work with different lighting companies like ICANN and others that you can set up for kind of the ArtNet and control of lights, but also offer that PoE plus plus power to run those lights. We probably have the widest selection of PoE options. And again, you can add different power modules to build that PoE budget as well. So if you're using more ports for power, you may need to add another power module or maybe a second power module. There's an internal and then a power module capability in another one to not only build the power budget, but redundancy if you need that as well.
And this is an example of an access point, because it looks like you have a couple of different options over there. But this would be if you wanted to add Wi-Fi to your setup. You don't necessarily need to have a laptop.
Correct.
To control this. You could control it with, say, my phone. You can't have
So
my phone.
this is a Wi-Fi 7. It's powered. You could power it from the switch if you wanted to. You can do a local area network if you don't want to go out over the internet. You can use our Pro router if you did want to go out over the internet and have access to the internet. So Netgear has been doing Wi-Fi access points for a long time, and we're very efficient at it. At our headquarters, we have little robots that roam around and test for dead spots and make sure you're able to pass from each access point to the other seamlessly. So again, Wi-Fi access points, Pro routers. We're working towards in our Engage 2.0 to add that all to have that accessible over one pane of glass. So that manageability of every aspect of your total network solution is very beneficial to our customers.
Well, I think what's great about the ability to add an access point is for people. I mean, you talk about lighting, but for us, doing sound,
right?
If you are, let's say, trying to test, front of house, and you have your items on that network, you can walk around with your portable device and make adjustments,
fine-tune things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we saw a lot of that at LDI in Las Vegas, the last show we did earlier in the year. But our switches to being used just for control and of the environment, like you said. We have outdoor versions of this. We have people that do concert touring, right? To add a local Wi-Fi network to a different concert, is awesome. And again, for fine-tuning lights, fine-tuning the speakers, for instance, from a device like you mentioned, is huge.
Yeah, and if you've got remote mixer control, or even some of the wireless manufacturers that we work with,
Right.
they're outputting via Dante, but they also have a control protocol, and so if you can dial things in, that's great.
At Pro AV Design at Netgear, we have SEs in every time zone. So whatever time zone you're operating in, these guys respond very quickly. These are SEs, and we have, again, up to like 240 interop partners at this time. It's either a setting just to adjust, or these guys kind of getting into your topology and adjusting things for you to make sure it's most efficient.
And one thing we talked about while we were in pre-roll is the idea of Netgear being a bridge, for Dante and AES 67, Clearcom, and that you guys have a partnership with them.
RTS, Clearcom, Shure. We do a lot of work with Riddell. So sending the comm over our networks, we understand it. We work very closely with them to make sure it's all seamless. And we're adding interop partners all the time. We get their equipment, we send them ours. Sometimes it's plug and play. Sometimes we set up a profile for it. In the case of Dante and other things, or we have auto discovery interop partnerships where you plug it in. We use LLDP, and it knows you're plugging in a camera, and it knows how much power that camera needs for the robotic movement, or compression rates, or whatever it is. It's sending out over the network. There's an optimization there that's done with this auto discovery mechanism. So we love our interop partnerships. Again, we want to work with everyone, and every time we add, we get more requests. So it's a lot of engineering hours dedicated, but I think it's huge in today's AV over IP, because people want to make sure the stuff works. If they have a problem, it's easily done because we're working in partnership with these other manufacturers.
And so you mentioned one of the things that you're showing off is the 2.0 software. Is
Correct.
that what we're seeing on
We're seeing the beta version of our Engage 2.0. And again, this will be able to incorporate the Wi-Fi access points with the Pro router and all of our other managed switches.
Got it. So that you're getting everything on one screen that
Correct.
you can see. Fantastic. Okay. Todd, do you have anything else that you would like to say?
Well, if you want to learn more about everything you see here, it's netgear.com/AV.
Nice. Very cool. Todd, thank you for taking the time to explain and show all this to us. It's really exciting stuff.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more coverage from NAB AES NYC 2024. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, X, which is also Twitter, and Facebook. Email us at info@gothamsound.com. Thank you.